This is the Megaphone Hacking Gun, a weapon used in the Danganronpa series of video games and anime. Although the series has existed since 2010, the gun is first seen in Ultra Despair Girls, a title released in 2014. As could be guessed by the item's appearance, the Megaphone Hacking Gun uses audio signals as a deterrent, being used to disable the various Monokuma robots scattered around the environment. The weapon has 8 firing modes, with various effects on the enemies and environment of Towa City. As a fan of hobbyist electronics, the idea of creating the Megaphone Hacking Gun in real life fascinated me. I got to work in late 2019 on my first iteration of the project. This attempt was amateurish. The prop was assembled on a solderless breadboard and held together inside a cardboard box. The prop could display graphics on a screen and play sounds, depending on which firing mode was selected. I surrounded the enclosure with aluminium foil, put together a costume, and took the hacking gun to a local pop culture convention, Supernova 2019. Within a month of the con, I was working to finalize the project. I'd began using a rotary tool on an ABS plastic enclosure and attempting to move the project onto a soldered breadboard. I have no footage of these attempts. Other priorities in my life at the time led me to shelving the hacking gun, and I didn't get around to resuming progress until around 3 years later, planning to bring it to Supernova 2023. Because it had been so long, my first step was to disassemble what I'd left behind and start from scratch. I placed the components back onto a solderless breadboard and verified my old code and components worked. I decided that the next step would be to re-drill the holes in the ABS enclosure and to paint it black to match the weapon's in-game appearance. While playing through Ultra Despair Girls for a while, to get inspiration for the prop, I noticed this user interface element in the corner, indicating which firing mode was in use. I soon decided that I'd attempt this in my project. I would create a dial of 8 LEDs in a semicircle. The main board's Elegoo Nano was packed full of components, and I didn't wish to use an Elegoo Mega for this project, so I decided to place a second Nano inside the red tip of the megaphone. 8 high-value resistors would keep every LED dim, but one LED at a time would be powered through the rotary encoder with a low-value resistor, making that firing mode's LED brighter. This cool idea would come to bite me in the 3 days leading up to Supernova, because much of my time was spent troubleshooting the new circuit and getting it soldered. I had trouble getting the purple and pink LEDs to work. I originally used 8 of these flat trim pots to set the dim and lit colours. This approach was over-engineered and wasted time. In the hours before leaving for Supernova, I'd got the circuit working, but at the cost of all other features not being finished yet. This version of the megaphone looked very good, but didn't have many features. This experience taught me that I shouldn't allow feature creep so close to a deadline again. After a few weeks, I decided to get back to work on the prop. I simplified the colour wheel circuitry and got serial communication between the nanos working. At this point, I could now move on to soldering the main circuit and mounting that inside the ABS enclosure. I'd also followed instructions to create an LM386 audio amplifier from Afrotech mods on YouTube. The trigger assembly came together nicely as well, and by Christmas I had made significant progress. I'd returned from vacation in mid-January 2024 and was immediately keen to finish this project. I relocated to my air-conditioned bedroom and got started on my final 2 days of work. This involved winding up my soldering, finalizing the code in both nano units, and screwing the enclosures closed. I'd finally done it. The Megaphone Hacking Gun was complete! Overall, I had great fun putting this together, despite the setbacks. Thanks for checking out my behind-the-scenes tape on this project. What the f*** have I done? I made like this amplifier thing, and I've managed to make an antenna that's capturing radio signal entirely by accident. Like, what the f am I doing with my life? I can't get the audio to play, but I can get a radio station. The yellow night. Oh Lord, what the f have I done?